Hello everyone. So today we are going to start new chapter, that is chapter 2, nutrition in animals for class 7 science. Okay. It is as per the NCERT book, but here some detailed knowledge is given so that you can it can be helpful for your exams also. For example, your Olympiad exams or any other competitive exams. Okay. So now we are going to start. So the chapter here, this is chapter 2 as per your NCERT book, nutrition in animals. Okay. So already we have done nutrition in plants in the previous videos, and chapter 1 we have covered. So now we are going to study in detail what kind of nutrition is followed or how food is digested or taken inside the body of animals. Okay, so different various animals. So we are going to study nutrition in range of animals. So let's start, begin with the video. So first of all, what are the topics which we are going to cover here? So we are going to cover the topics like nutrition, different modes of nutrition. What are the different modes of nutrition in animals? Okay, so like small animals or bigger animals or some insects. So what kind of mode of nutrition are there? So we won't go into detail, but little bit we will get knowledge about what kind of nutrition or what is the mode of nutrition in some of the lower animals. Okay, and then we will talk about the nutrition or digestion in humans, the human digestive system, how this digestive system works, and how what are the components, like what are the parts through which digestion take place. So it will start with the mouth, then teeth, then we'll take a topic to decay, then after that food pipe, stomach, small intestine, liver, pancreas, large intestine, and then one disease, diarrhea, which is also related to somewhat your digestion problem only, then digestion in grass-eating animals, and finally feeding and digestion in animals. So it is exactly going to be followed like your NCRT. So now next we are going to start what is nutrition. So nutrition we have already discussed in last chapter also. Again we are going to give a small or simple definition of this once again. Like animal nutrition, what is happening here? It is mode of taking in food in the body. Okay, and the nutritional requirement of the body, what are the requirements, and how animals can utilize their food. Okay, once they have eaten food, they have digested it, they have absorbed the nutrients, so how they are going to utilize, like how they are going to do absorption of the nutrients. So we are going to discuss all these things in animal nutrition. Okay, now the question arises here, what is digestion? You must have heard many times that eat the food slowly so it will, or chew the food properly so it will help in digestion. So how it is helping in digestion, or what is digestion? First of all you should know. So digestion is basically nothing but a process, okay, by which animals break down complex food substances into simpler substances. Okay, so this whole process is called digestion. Now in the animals, like bigger and higher animals and humans, we are following holozoic holozoic nutrition type. Okay, so what is holozoic nutrition? In this holozoic nutrition we are taking complex food material, okay, complex food substances, and then we are going to break it down into simpler substances, and in this process we absorb the nutrients, okay, and then excrete the waste material. So because we are following a complete process, like first we are taking in food, okay, and then it is like taking in food inside, okay, then this food is being digested in the body, and after the digestion what is happening, there is like absorption of the food or nutrients, important nutrients that will be absorbed in the body, and after that the undigested part will be excreted, so there will be excretion from the body. Okay, so this complete process, because we are doing complete process, we call it holozoic nutrition. Okay, In amoeba also we can see holozoic nutrition. So you will see it in the last slide. Before that, now we are seeing here some of the examples are given here for some animals like snail. So what kind of food snails eat? Like grass. And what is their mode of feeding? They chew the grass. Okay. Then what kind of food, mode of feeding is ant having? And they eat insects and they do it by scraping. Scraping means suppose there is something, some paint is there. Okay, so if you're scrapping it, you will take it out. So after some time, what will happen? Because of scrapping, the whole paint will be out from there. It is like you are scrapping it slowly. Okay, so you are taking all the paint out of it. So in the same way, ant are also eating, because ant are also eating like insects or dead insects. So they eat it like scrapping the outer covering, which is hard. So they scrap it and then they eat the softer portion, which is the softer portion of the insect. Okay, so because you know that in some insect they are having the outer exoskeleton. Skeleton means they are having a hard portion to cover them, to save them from the uh, different predators. Okay, so that is why these ant are eating it by scrapping. Okay, so now we are going to study next thing. Next, eagle, they eat flesh and they swallow the flesh. Hummingbird, they take nectar by sucking it. Lice, they eat or they drink blood by sucking. Mosquito also drink blood by sucking. Butterfly, they drink nectar by sucking. And then housefly, they eat decaying. Decaying means the matter which is already spoiling. Okay, by brewing. How brewing? They secrete some kind of juices on the decaying matter. Suppose this is dead and decaying matter, like your food which is a spoiled food. Okay, and what they will do, they will secrete some juices here, and then this will, you can say that the material, decaying material, that will digest here because of the juices. So digest, so it will become liquid. Okay, now when it will become liquid, so there will be, it will be broken down into simpler, you can say simpler nutrients. So those nutrients will be taken up by the housefly. So because they are preparing some kind of solution kind of thing here. So we call it brewing. Brewing is what? Brewing is making solution. When you are preparing some solution by adding some liquids or boiling some liquids, so it is called brewing. So same similar thing is happening here. That is why we call it brewing. Okay. So now next, after nutrition, we are going to see how this mode of nutrition takes place in different animals. Okay, now you know that because plants, you know that plants are making their own food with the help of sunlight. So what happens here, that this sunlight, the sunlight is available for the plant, and these plants do what they do, holophytic nutrition. So what is the meaning of holophytic nutrition? Holophytic nutrition means in their body, what will happen? The food which is being produced here, it will basically, it will not be like taken up and digested in you can say that it will not be taken up in this is like in these plant, liquid food is taken up. Okay, so they will not be having a digestive system, proper digestive system. So they will not take any food like as animals are taking. So in higher animals, what is happening? Like us, we are eating food, we are taking food, and then we are, what we are doing? We are digesting the food inside our body. Then we are absorbing the nutrition, and after that, what is happening? Those nutrition is going, like it is being absorbed in our body, and the undigested material will be excreted out. In case of plant, what happens? They are taking all the nutrition in the form of liquid. Okay, So because they are taking in form of liquid, that is why it is called holophytic nutrition. Okay. Now we have discussed it earlier that these are producers, and the first herbivore which are eating these producer, these are called primary consumer. So primary, you can just imagine that these are first at level 1. Okay, at level 1. Then there are secondary consumers at level 2, the animals who are eating these herbivores. Okay, then if other carnivores who are eating those um, animals who are at second level, so these animals will be called third or tertiary consumer. So you can see here primary, secondary, tertiary, these are nothing but these are just the numbers, like their ranking. Okay, first rank or second rank or third rank. So now after tertiary, we say all the consumer are tertiary. And why we are saying consumer? Because these are consuming, these are getting energy from the producer. For example, if you are going to a market, suppose it is a supermarket, and you are going to a supermarket and you are buying something, so you are consumer. You are going there to buy some packet of chips or some oil or some bread or something, so things are kept there. You are going to supermarket, you are buying it, so you are consumer. Now who is producing these things? So there are producer or manufacturer who are having big factories or places where they are producing all these things. Okay, so what we call them? We call them manufacturer, or we call them producer. So in the same way, here the person or here the organism which is producing energy is a plant. Clear? So plants are at the level of producer. They are manufacturer of food. And food, as I told you, food is glucose. Okay? The glucose or starch which is made by plant. Glucose is made by plant, and this glucose is then stored in the form of starch. Now these things, these starch are consumed by other level of organisms. So now these primary consumer are at first level, then there are secondary consumer, then there are tertiary consumer. So on, other consumers who are eating the tertiary, they will also be called tertiary consumer only. Okay. Now after the death of these tertiary consumers, what will happen? Once they will die, there are decomposers. Okay, or there are scavengers who are eating up the dead animals. Okay, so these decomposer or scavenger, they are going to break it down further into simpler nutrients. Okay, so where it is breaking it down? Into simpler nutrients. Now these nutrients will be again mixed with soil, and in the soil, and from those soil, what will happen? Now the plants which are growing nearby, they will take the nutrient which is mixed in soil. So this is complete cycle, and these are kind of nutrition type in animals. So we are going to study few of them in detail. So let's see. In the next slide, we are going to start from digestion in humans. Okay, so in your 7th class, you are going to study digestion in humans basically, then in grass eating animals, then in your amoeba. Okay, so these are the things which you are going to study here. Now we are starting from the humans. So here in humans, we should know that the food whichever we are eating, so it is passing through a canal. Okay, so it is a canal means it is like a bigger, you can say, a passage. Okay, which is tubular, or then it will change the shape, or again it will change the shape, but it is a path, it is a complete path till the point where it is being excreted. Okay, so I'm just making a rough diagram. Okay, now this is not the fair diagram, but from starting from your mouth when you are eating the food until the anus where excretion is taking place, so this whole thing is a canal. Okay, and this complete canal is called alimentary canal or the digestive tract. Okay, remember these things, these are important. Alimentary canal or digestive tract. Okay, so now what is happening in this alimentary canal? In this alimentary canal, the food is being processed, okay, and then it is being utilized in the body, and the unused food is collected inside the canal only. So the food which is unused, it will be collected inside the canal and then it will be excreted time to time. Now, when we are talking about this canal, so it is having different parts. Okay, you must have seen in digestive system in earlier classes also, like class 5 or 6. Okay, so you must have seen in 5 also, like it is starting from the mouth or buccal cavity. Okay, now here buccal, we call it buccal cavity, the whole mouth. Okay, we call it buccal cavity. Now food pipe, there is another name for food pipe, that is esophagus. O here, O is silent. Okay, what we will call it? We will call it esophagus. Clear? Now stomach. Next, after esophagus, food will go to stomach. After stomach, it will go to small intestine. Then it will go to large intestine. And from large intestine, the undigested part will be excreted out through the anus. So these are the parts, different parts of human digestion or digestion in human or human digestive system. We are going to study it in detail. So now we are going to start from human digestive system, where you can see the complete picture. Okay, so here I'm going to tell you in little bit detail, which is not in NCERT, but it is very important for you for some exams, like for Olympiad exams or for your basic understanding. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you in detail. So mouth is the part from which your food digestion is starting. So this is the first part from where food digestion is starting. So it is starting here. Now what is happening in your mouth? In your mouth, you know that the upper roof of the mouth is called palate. Okay, that is like a roof of your mouth. Okay, so it is palate, this roof like a structure. Okay, now beneath the root there is ovula. You can see it, ovula. Ovula is nothing but the part like this, the extended part in your mouth, which you can see like a bell shape. Okay, so what we call to this, we call it ovula. So it also helps in preventing the food from going to windpipe. Okay, ovula. And one more thing is there, epiglottis, but epiglottis is in near the windpipe. Okay, so ovula is the you can say this tissue which is present in the center. Okay, so you can see when you will open your mouth, you can see your ovula in your mouth. Then after that there is tongue, so you can see clearly every part there is marking, so you can see it very clearly. Then there are teeth. Okay, so these are the parts of mouth. All these are the parts of mouth which are helping us in digestion of food. Now in mouth only there are few more things like salivary glands. So what are glands? Glands, you can imagine it is like a, you know, cup or vessel. I'm just giving you imaginary picture. It is not like that it is exactly like cup. You can say it is cup or pocket. Okay, pocket or a sack which is having some juices. Okay, so these juices, like, you know, your fruit juice you are drinking. Okay, so the same way it is having a juice, but this juice is being, it is not like every time it is filled with juice. So these juice or secretive juice, why we are saying secretive, because this is flowing. Okay, when something is flowing, we call it is being secreted, like river is flowing, but river is coming from the glaciers. Here secretion is taking part from some part of the body. So when it is taking part from a part of the body, we call them glands. Okay, we call them glands, like this is a gland, suppose. Okay, so because it is related to your saliva, so that is why we call it salivary glands. Okay, because these glands are producing saliva. Now, what are the name of these glands? There are sublingual, submandibular, and parotid. So sublingual is below your tongue, submandibular is on side, and there is parotid gland which is in your cheek region, you can say. Okay, so the same way it is on the other part of the face also. So on both the side these glands are present, so we call them salivary glands. And these salivary glands, these are secreting saliva. So what is the function of this saliva? This saliva, whenever you are chewing any food, what it does, it helps in breaking down the, you can say, carbohydrate, okay, which is present here, or starch which is present here. So if you're chewing food properly, so starch will be converted into glucose. And this is the reason why when we are eating chapati for some time, you feel that it tastes like sweet, it tastes little bit sweet after eating for some time. Why? Because the starch which is present in wheat, it gets converted into glucose. So that is why it gives you sweet appearance. And we know that glucose is sweet in taste. So this is the action of saliva, or you can say this is the first digestion which is taking place inside the human body. So it is taking place inside mouth, and it is kind of first digestion. Now we will see the next part. So after this, you can see there is pharynx, okay, which is joining your esophagus, and this esophagus is also called, okay, this pharynx is your throat portion or neck portion, okay, it is on neck side, and or throat, you can say. And then esophagus is your food pipe, okay. So all the food which is passing in your body, it is passing through your food pipe. And where does it pass? It goes to the stomach, okay. Then there is, beneath the stomach, there is pancreas, which is having pancreatic duct, okay. You can see the green duct, so it is pancreatic duct is like tube, okay, small tube. Clear? Now you can just see the part name here, and we will study it in detail in coming slides. Clear? So you can see here, these are pancreatic duct. After that, you can see here is a big liver. You can see this is this little bit pinkish or brown in color. So this is liver. Then there is gallbladder, greenish. Then there is a common bile duct through which this gallbladder, it is also collecting some bile, liver is also collecting some bile, pancreas is collecting bile, and then this bile duct is, it is opening here. You can see small intestine, okay. So now this stomach is connected to your small intestine. So small intestine is also having three parts. It is divided in three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, so this part is duodenum. Then you can see this part is jejunum, which is not clear here because it is behind this large intestine. And then there is ileum part. Okay, so most of the last part is ileum. Now this ileum is joined with your what? Large intestine. Okay, now you can see here this ileum is joined with large intestine, green portion, and then it is ascending. Ascending means moving forward. So that is why it is called ascending colon. Then it is transferring here like this. It is just going horizontal. So it is called transverse colon. Then it is coming down here. So that is why it is called descending colon. Okay. And the starting part is called cecum. This part of the large intestine is called cecum. And when it is, after this descending colon, we call it sigmoid colon because of the shape. Okay, this is called sigmoid colon. And after that there is rectum, okay, where undigested food gets stored. And then there is anus, through which all the excreta or all the fecal material, undigested material will be excreted. Okay, so see all the spellings carefully and learn the spellings of few terms which are in human digestive system. Okay, now so these are excreted through this. Now here is one appendix. You can see this appendix is vestigial. You can say this is the thing which is not being used in human beings now. That is why we call it vestigial organ. So here you can see that that's all about human digestive system, and in next part we are going to study one by one all the parts we are going to discuss about human digestive system.